Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the show tonight. So I got another interview. I got Samantha from San Jose, California, out there with them San Jose Sharks. So she's targeted, just like the rest of us, and just like everybody else. We're just way ahead of the game. Most people don't know what's going on, but that's not our fault that that we're so far ahead of everybody else. So anyway, what's going on out there in San Jose, California?
Nothing. Actually, it's been a really lovely day. I went out to the museum today and I'm just at home.
The museum. So
yeah, it's a I can never pronounce it, but it's like an Egyptian museum.
It's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So
over there for a little bit.
That's cool. I'm into weird stuff like that. So you're targeted like the rest of us. So how's that been?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
How's that been to be a targeted person?
It's lessened a lot than what it was in the beginning and towards the middle. My whole apartment is set up. Things come out of the baseboards. They come out of the floorboards. I know people come in and out of my house in my car. They steal my mail. I believe I'm under the same thing, the remote neural monitoring. And I get the do attacks. So.
Well, if you get that, then it's definitely remote neural monitoring. So, I mean, anybody could steal mail and stuff like that, but it's just a typical thing, for when we're on remote neural monitoring, they put us on like public, so it becomes a organized stalking type of situation, even with people that don't know you.
Right, I get that too. The stalking, the cars, the stores.
Yeah.
The apartments, yeah, I get all that too.
Yeah, so I actually have to. I have two phones, so like two cellular phones, and I text myself all the time. I'm like, such and such, but they talk to me with artificial telepathy all day, every day, and they're threatening everything all the time. And so I'm like texting myself. I'm like, such and such just said he's gonna steal my package that's coming in the mail today. So I'm always trying to use. I'm trying to stay a step ahead, to prevent things like that because
Make shit harder, right?
Yeah, everything's difficult. Everything's got to be more difficult than it should be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even out like the checkout lines and stuff too. It's like they'll block your card or they'll do something hella stupid. It's like, really, right now? I'm in a rush.
Yeah, but they know what's up. They're like, oh, she's in a rush. Let's go block her way right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just little stupid stuff. Like, I mean, look, imagine this though. Imagine like a couple years down the road, like everything's starting to pan out and everything's coming into the light, right? So then you got all these people that are going to start going to jail for these stupid things that they did. Like, how dumb can you be? Like, what you in for? Oh, I was delaying someone at the checkout. Yeah, I got life in prison for I don't know. It's outrageous, man. It's outrageous. So, how long has this been going on for you?
I started noticing it about, I think 2018. I started noticing the following.
Right.
And neighbors like looking and peeking through the fences and stuff. So that's when I started noticing. So I don't know if it was before that or not, but that's when I actually started realizing people were like following me and stuff, or like things missing or moved that I know I didn't leave there because I'm a really detailed person. So like if there's a mark somewhere that wasn't there before, I notice it. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that kind of stuff started happening to where I was like, what the hell? I just had this here.
Now they want you to notice that,
Huh?
They want you to notice that.
Right.
Right. I used to smoke cigarettes, and I've told this story before, but I had a pack of cigarettes in one of those brown paper sacks that comes from the convenience store, and I had just laid it on my bed and went about my day or whatever. And when I needed that new pack of cigarettes, I went to go get it, and there was 19 missing and one left.
Oh my
And
God.
so I was like, okay, so there was a sign. It was like it was still in the bag and everything. And I was like, okay, so they're basically what they're saying is, hey, you know, we can get to you, we can get to you. So that was years ago, and that's when I started doing a lot of safeguard measures, you know, to try to prevent things from happening.
Mhm.
Yeah. So but you don't have the telepathy. So
No,
that makes you a little bit that makes you like a little bit extra sharp, like to even realize that something's going on. Because most of the time, now I've had some people, plenty of people that don't have the telepathy, but most of the time when we become targeted, we notice because people start talking to us with the artifice. It's like, where's that coming from? So, you know, when that happens, it's like automatic. You know something's going on, but you know, it's a strong intuition to notice that something weird is going on otherwise. And but really, everybody's on this. Everybody's on neural monitoring. Every person, and it's really a matter of you either have it or you don't. So, yeah. How do you do with computer stuff?
I'm not really tech savvy.
Not tech
Some
savvy.
things I am. I mean, I pick up stuff quick. So I'm a quick learner. So
Right.
if I focused on it, I would probably be able to do it. But I've been trying to focus more on like myself and just like the protecting myself kind of aspect of it, you know. And I started getting into it's not about what you could prove that they're doing. It's about healing from it and just trying to get back at them by living your lifestyle, you know, and doing everything that they don't want you to do. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, yeah. I got really frustrated last night. So I go out to a lot of different events and things, and I do stuff all the time. And um, you know, it was a time of isolation in the
Right.
beginning, and then it got to the point where you know, I had this incident one day, and I just got so fed up with them, and I decided I was going to do whatever I wanted to. And I had been, I mean, it was real bad. It was the worst. It was like the horror stories that you hear. So, I mean, I was like hiding behind the recliner, you know, in the doorway, you know, to the one spot where they couldn't shoot me through the window and all of this stuff. And so I was like tucked off in this little zone, and I would stay right there. And one day I'd gotten so fed up with it. I said, you know, if you're gonna kill me, then do it. Let's do this. All right. So, and I was mad, and I put on my headphones, and it was like, it was cold here. It doesn't really get that cold here, but it was a cold night, like 15, 20 degrees or something. And I put on this fur coat that I had, and I went out in the driveway. It was all icy, and I had on my headphones, and I was just dancing around like, come on and do it, you know, like, and I'd had enough of it. And so, and that was like a turning point for me. So, and from then on, I got back to who I was. And like you said, I started doing me. And so I went out all the time, and I still go out all the time, and I know a lot of people, and so that's what I do. I go out and I do. But I was really upset last night. They were attacking my face real bad with the broadcast stuff, and
I hate the eyes. The eyes is so irritating.
They get right here in the corner of my eyes, you know, and they'll start messing with my eyelashes with the broadcast, and you can just feel it a little bit, you know. And I mean, they can hurt you if they go into your flesh, and like it can hurt. But
Did you ever get the thing where you get the bubbles like inside of your eye, where you can feel like the taps of the bubbles? It's like literally like your eye is sizzling.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. And okay, so I call that I've talked about it in my videos many times, but it's almost like the moisture is evaporating and it's starting to pop. like
Right.
inside your
Right.
yeah, and I get that too. But that's not what they've been doing lately. Lately, they've been just kind of like lingering on the surface and like messing with my eyelashes, and like I can feel like broadcast running down my eyebrows, and then they'll start like messing with my eyelashes, and it just bothers me more than it hurts that much. But they do a lot of things that hurts me. But they were doing that last night. I got really frustrated, you know, and I was like, you know, forget y'all. I know they want me to go out to these dance spots and do all my little stuff or whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? Forget y'all, man. And I covered up my head and I went to sleep. And I'm mad because, you know, a couple of people that I'm friends with were playing. You know, they were DJing, and it was a good party. And I really wanted to go. I haven't seen a few of these people in a while, and then it's all my people, you know. So I wanted to go. And you know, and I work hard, and I grind it out all the time, you know. And when Saturday nights come, I want to go out and hang out with my people, and I just went to bed, and so I woke up.
And thank you for the work that you do. Like, without you, I wouldn't have known anything about the remote thing or anything. And
Well, you're
what
welcome.
you do is greatly appreciated.
Well, I feel like they force me to do these things, you know. These gang stalkers, they like to attack me and do stuff. So, but I was mad that I didn't get to go. I woke up and it was like 5 in the morning because I wasn't gonna go, but then I kind of was wanting to go, and then I was like, maybe I'll just act like I'm not going and then wake up and go or whatever. I woke up, it was over with. I was like, oh man. And I got a whole another week before, like, I might go out Friday or Saturday night or something, but yeah. All right, so let me ask you this.
Yes.
What do you think about the one headlight thing?
The one headlight thing?
Because everybody talks about the one headlight thing. I used to doubt it a lot, but I almost kind of believe it a little bit. But when I see people with one headlight, I'm thinking, what an idiot. You must be asking to get pulled over. Like, you know, but does
I
that
haven't
happen?
noticed too many one headlights. I noticed more of like yellow and blue tinted lights or super bright ass lights.
Right.
So that's what I get more of.
Okay.
So I don't recall noticing too many one headlights. Sometimes they'll do the no headlights though. I'm gonna stop.
They did that to me one time down on one way. They were coming at me, you know.
Oh shit.
I was like, okay, you're asking for it, but whatever.
No, but with the cars, I noticed the license plates. I noticed the what is it, the black plates with the yellow letters. Those are always messages.
What do you mean a black plate with a yellow letter? It's like,
because you know how they're like customized. Have you ever seen the? Oh, maybe they're not the same colors over there, but
no, we got a white plate with like a peach in the middle and then the letters.
Oh, okay,
That's
so
the
you guys
GA.
don't have too many like customized, like you could buy your own type of plates.
Yeah, but then I mean it's still the same plate, but it just says what you wanted to say.
Oh, okay, yeah. So ours is usually the white with the red California on the top, but then like the customized is usually black and it has yellow letters.
Okay.
And so those ones I noticed like super quick because of the colors, but I noticed like the numbers or the words on it, or like there'll be phrases or just random stuff. But I started writing them because I wasn't the one driving. So when I started noticing them, I started writing like this whole book of like all these different license plates. And so like I grouped them together, which ones were like names, which ones were like first or last names. Like there was one that was like Dark Angel, you know, so it's like all those kind of like different phrases or quotes, you could call it. And a lot of them went to League of Legends, I think it was, or War of Warcraft. I can't remember which one it was. But it was a lot to do with that. A lot of them were like techie business names or like random, sorry, the random, like in haha in your face, kind of like laughing at you type of like quotes, you know. So
right. Well, that's how they are. They're very facetious about. They want to make it as obvious as possible without getting caught.
Right.
You know? That's like how gang stalkers operate. So a lot of the things that they do is like hidden in plain sight.
Because if you look them up, none of them are real. They'll be like, "Oh, that plate doesn't exist." You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't have a way to look up plates. If I did, I would have a.
They have like free apps for certain stuff, but then you have to pay for it to go like deeper into the information.
Right, right. So I'm
like
actually.
They make a model of it or something.
Yeah. I'm trying to. I want to really almost like study it a little bit and see like what are those? It's like instant checkmate and the different the different information sites. I want to get the best one and then just pay like an annual subscription because you can get a lot of good information. I mean, if I could type in some addresses or some license plates, I could get a lot more information. But I have plenty of information already on these Gang Stalkers, and there's not much that's being done about things. So yeah. So California is probably the second most. Is because I got all the videos and all the channel. Some kind of little gnat flying around me. I got all these videos and the pages and groups and everything. So everybody who looks up anything about remote neural monitoring, they usually end up in my messages trying to ask me about it. So California will be number 2, and Texas is. I get the most people from Texas hitting me up about being targeted, but I get people from Europe and Australia and Asia and Russia and Canada and America. I get people from every state, everywhere, but I get Texas the most, and then probably California is probably the second most.
Yeah, and being right here in San Jose, we're in the Bay Area, so it's like everything is here. So we got Microsoft, Facebook, Tesla, Google just bought out this huge area over here downtown. I'm literally smack dab in the middle of everything you can think of. Right.
Well, those entities, I guess, they definitely know what's going on. It's a lot of. Most of this stuff really revolves originally around hacking, and so I saw a lot of people hate Elon Musk, and I don't know how you feel about it, but I mean, I don't know. I think he's kind of cool, but I don't know if he's like on some sinister stuff on the under or whatever. But I kind of like some of the stuff that he comes out with. But the neural link thing is, have you heard about that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's
the brain thing, right?
Right. They're like they use some kind of they implant these strands of something inside your brain, and it's like and it's called Neuralink. And Elon Musk is he actually he put like $100 million to fund the thing, and he's one of the main people behind it. So he's the main investor behind it. So I mean, but I don't really understand it that well because I know what's possible with neural monitoring, and everything that they're talking about is already possible with broadcast without any kind of implants or microchips or anything else. And so it kind of upsets me because I can see the way that they're gradually stepping society into this like whole mind control and neurological computer cybernetics combination of humans and machines. But it's disturbing to me because people are suffering from broadcast and gang stalking and all of this stuff when the stuff that they're talking about is behind what's already existing in the street. And I feel like they're trying to gradually bring it into society. So
you cut out a little bit.
I feel like they're trying to gradually bring it into society rather than they have to come on with it, like admit it, like we got mind control, we got broadcast.
It's more about the money. We can make more money that way when he starts poking at people, rather than it being a secret live broadcast between all these people, because they still want it to be secret, but how else are they going to make money? So the only way to make money while keeping that secret is to come up with something that people are going to want to buy or want to get invested into, or you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. Because, like, I see it like this. There's, if somebody can talk to me, okay, from EMF broadcast, and they can be somewhere else, and they don't even need a device, and it's all done through this neural monitoring satellite broadcast system, why are they building towers everywhere for cellular 5G networks? Like, everybody's talking about 5G. 5G's like way back. 5G's way back in the day for what's really available, like what's really going on. It's just it's a thing where they just gradually, walk society into this and build it up to the point, like, and yeah, they make money the whole way along.
Yeah, to me, 5G is all set up. I think it's like, have you ever seen the movie, was it The Kingsman?
I have not.
Okay, so it's about, they actually make these phones, and there's a chip inside of the phone. And so their whole thing is to, when they set off their trigger, it'll call everybody in the world, and then it triggers their death. So that's like what 5G to me seems like. Like that's their way of saying, oh, this is what 5G is going to be. Because there's something in the 5G with the radiation, with our phones, and the connections that I think is going to be like a trigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, check that movie out.
What's it called? One more time?
The Kingsman?
The Kingsman. Okay. Yeah, I quit watching TV in 2012, and for a little while I had like YouTube Premium and like Disney Plus, and I really cut them out. I'll probably get Disney Plus again because I want to watch Mandalorian and stuff like that. Really, but
well, I have it, so if you want I don't use it, so if you want to use it.
Yeah. Cool. So, what do you do?
I'm a cosmetologist, so I do hair and nails.
Did they get in the way of that? Any kind of gang stalking get in the way of that?
They did. I had been let go from my previous job for stupid ass reasons, which I think, now looking back, I think that was also a setup. I finally opened my own. I had it all set to where I had, for hairdressers, I had my nail station because I specialize more in nails than hair. I enjoy nails more. It's more creative for me. I had a wax room, and then I had a eyelash spot. So I had finally, after a couple months putting that through, my business partner dropped out on me, which probably was another setup. I finally opened it, and then I think it was like a month into it, COVID hit. So then after it was like the second month, I was like, I'm not trying to go all this rent back for a shop I couldn't even use. So I ended up having to pack up everything, and that was it. I haven't went back to it yet, but
right.
Yeah. But when I was at that shop, I started noticing like the tiles on the ceiling were being moved, like they weren't closing them right. The doors, I started noticing like the locks were being messed with. There was some times where I would walk in and I would smell somebody's cologne, like somebody was just in there, and I'm like, there was nobody else in here, it's just me. So it's like, okay, somebody was in here, And there was this one time where right before like I started packing, where I was looking at the floor and I literally seen two holes being drilled from the bottom because there was a crawl space under it because it was connected to an apartment complex. So it was like an apartment complex, and then they had 1, 2, 3, I think 4 different little businesses in the front of it. And so there was one huge crawl space under, which at that time I didn't know about any of this. And I literally seen the 2 holes being drilled from the bottom. So I kind of freaked out, and I had told my husband, I was like, can you come check down there? Because, like, do you see these holes being made right now? And just other stuff, like I noticed that people were being in there without, I'm like, how do you have access in here if I have the keys, or like things being moved, marks being made that it was impossible that it should have been made, you know, things like that. So that's when I started noticing even more.
Right.
And then during that time is when we started getting the energy weapons. I didn't know what it was at the time either, and so after looking it up, I figured it was just sensitivity because the 5G I think started rolling out over here. I want to say.
So what the energy weapons? What is it that you're experiencing with that?
I get the burning, the pin pokes, the stabbing feelings. What else? Like the hot, like my ear will turn super, super red, like randomly, and just like my whole ear will be hot and red. My cheeks will get hot. Like I just like burning sensations too. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've gotten random marks where I'm like, oh, where the hell did that come from? You know?
They can literally burn you. They can literally burn your skin.
Yeah.
They burn me sometimes. Like they burn my toes to the point of like blisters, and you know, and it'll be like they want to try to make everything appear as if it's from some normal occurrence, like like your shoes don't fit good or something. But with me, it'll be like, it'll be like the same shoes I've already worn 100 times that are perfect, you know. And then the day that I'm on like all overtime and make like $350 or something, and then so they're mad, right? And they're like, yeah, okay. So they burn my toes, and I got blisters like on the top of my toes from the same shoes I wear every day or something. And they're just mad, and they're pissed off, and they want to take an action against you, and they always do stuff to me like that. So a lot of the things that they do it on live stream, or they put out videos. They're on our phones and our stuff all the time. So I don't know if you've watched a lot of my videos, but I want to make sure that you know that learning some stuff about coding and networks and like it really can help you to find out a lot of things. Like, especially somebody you don't have the telepathy and you don't have gang stalkers talking to you all day, because when they do, if they talk to you all day, they're going to give away some information just by default. Somebody talks to you all day, you're going to figure out some stuff because they won't shut up. They're giving away information. Okay, so you're going to figure out some things. But if they're not, then you're kind of in this thing where it's like, weird stuff's going on and stuff's happening, but it's kind of hard to exactly place it, So it's a really good idea to learn as much as you can about your phone stuff, and even beyond the phones, but like your networks and stuff, but really learning about coding stuff and like really all of it. This is a time where we got to start learning these things because it's part of life now, to be able to write scripts and to learn about like APIs and the different languages, PHP, and just the basic stuff like HTML, and and to get on your phone and to understand your the network stuff and the routing table and all of these different things that are going on with IP addresses and everything about all of this stuff. We have to understand that as people, we're targeted, and we have to come together and say, hey, this is important, and we need to understand this because we're being infiltrated, and they're using our devices and our networks and our accounts, and they're making money off of this stuff, and they're basically, we're suppressed, and it's a form of slavery because they've taken it to that level.
Right.
So I think if you haven't started to look into stuff like that, it's definitely a good idea to do so. And if you need some direction, just ask me about it, later on or whatever. And I would tell you, like, okay, look at this and this and this, like, so it's a good idea. But I think you got iPhone, so Stream. It's an app called Stream, okay, and that will show you anything that's going on in the background with like HTTP requests and stuff, and that's how they run a lot of their stuff. So I've found a lot of stuff like that. So I recommend that to everybody that's on an iDevice, iPads or iPhones. And if you got Android, get on um, get a root file explorer app and then dig around in the real file system rather than that one files app that it gives you. You get a real root file explorer. But yeah, those things can help you find out a lot because a lot of it revolves around hacking, and they love to do all this stuff, and they have some pretty amazing capabilities with broadcast. Photo editing is another good one.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Photo editing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to expose broadcast.
When I look at my pictures and stuff, because I haven't really been taking any lately, but I do take a lot of pictures, and I started noticing like sorry about the music, the characters and like the faces and
exactly
all that stuff. So I had noticed that before I had seen your video. So when you confirmed that, I was like, okay, I'm not crazy. I do see these things.
Exactly. Yeah, we know what's going on. Like we see this stuff going on, but it's like it's weird, man. It's weird. So I started seeing broadcast stuff before I really realized about pictures, and I was like, well, I could see it, so I know my camera can see it, right, but it can't. So
you got to get to it.
So I started doing like editing, and then I was like, okay, that's what I'm seeing. They're showing up. There's different techniques, and there's a lot of different ways, but we got to become more advanced at those type of things because, and then we can tell Elon that, can the brain strand thing for Neuralink, because we're already way past that. We know what's up, bro. We know what's up. I respect him, and I like Tesla, and I don't know about this Neuralink thing though, but yeah, they're on some other stuff, man. But it's like take over the world. They want to take over the world with mind control. I don't know. Is it really that bizarre? Yes. We live in these times for real.
Right.
So, yeah.
And a lot of this shit, too, is like ancient shit, like way back in the day, and they're just weaponizing it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I feel like this, okay? The Mayans and the Egyptians and all of these civilizations that were very advanced with, like, understanding things like, it's almost like telepathy or like the galaxy and the advanced mathematics and all these things, and they understood some things that we don't get. Okay, we don't get it because we're too busy watching a bunch of TV shows and worried about the rat race and making the rent payment and all this stuff. And our minds are clogged up, and those people were living a very simple life, and they didn't have all of the things that we have to worry about today, and they were very in tune with things like that. So their intuition, all of these things were a lot more fine-tuned. So it's almost like we've degenerated, really, to an extent.
It locked you out right there.
Yeah, I heard that. So I said it's almost like we've degenerated to an extent, like we've fallen back because,
exactly.
the I guess you would say the elite or whatever, like whatever it is, like that's what they want. They want us. They want us to be, out of tune.
Get our roots.
Right.
Everything.
They want us to be, hooked up to the mind control and work, and slavery. It's like consensual modern day slavery. Like, yeah, we're okay. We'll do that. Sure. As long as we get a beer and a joint to smoke, just mind control me, and I'll work my ass off every day. It's all good. Nah, not me. Not me.
That's what we got to do. We got to take our power back.
Exactly.
Once we start taking our power back, they have no chance against us, and that's what I try to remind other TIs. Like, we're so focused on trying to protect ourselves or trying to stop them, rather than focusing on ourselves and trying to take our power back. because they want to downgrade us. They want to keep us from taking our power back.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So once we start taking that power back from them, then they're kind of like, well, what else can we do now? We can't do nothing to them because, I used to always say they're like that annoying cousin where it's like, oh, I'm touching you, but not really touching you. You know what I mean? Like hella annoying. So it's like they do it to irritate you. So when they know it irritates you, they're gonna keep doing it. So once you stop showing it, like it don't faze me. They're gonna get bored because like, what could they do? Because like nothing bothers you anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, they want to bother you as much as they can. They want to do things, but listen. The bottom line, they love the way that we think, and they're infatuated because they don't have what we have. Okay, but
Right.
suppression is important for them because if we become enlightened and empowered,
Exactly.
then they really can't get on our level.
Exactly.
So they need to hold us down, and that's why I say it's like slavery, because they want to make money and they want to consume our thoughts, and they act as parasites. So
Right.
you're right, though. We work on ourselves and we work to gain knowledge. Knowledge really is power. So they always said that knowledge is power. Yeah, I see that it is. Knowledge really is power. So, we have to learn these things because when we learn the same things that they know, then we're probably going to be better than them at it. So, when it comes to computer coding and when it comes to the way that the mind works and creative content, and they really won't be able to stop us.
Yeah, I noticed too that a lot of TRs are very, very gifted, very creative.
Exactly.
So I always started saying, like, I think we all have a mission here. We all do. And, someone may be better at creating, someone may be better like you, like more techie, or someone may be better, more intuitive. You know what I mean? Or
I'm not that techie, okay? Look, I know some basics, okay? But I just understand this, okay? I know that that's what they do and that's how the stuff works and that's what we have to learn. Okay, so I'm pushing for it and I'm pushing everybody else to go in that direction because I know that it's the right direction and I wouldn't steer people wrong like that. So I know that learning all of these things, because I know what these gang stalkers are doing. So I'm not that techie, okay? But I'm smart, okay? And I think on a level, they love the way that I think. They're always infatuated. Like they stay on my channel every day. They talk to me 24/7. So, I would say that you're in a good position that they're not talking to you, but at the same time, you gain a lot of insight from just because them talking is going to give you something. It's going to give you some insight that you wouldn't have otherwise. And if they want to talk all day, that's cool. Okay, you're giving away a lot, but go ahead.
I use my intuitive measures to put pieces together and the synchronicities and stuff that I see. So that's been my helpful thing that I get from, But I was going to say something I forgot. Oh, how I noticed too, like in the forums and stuff, that people will start saying stuff that I'm like, oh, that's the missing piece that I needed because like now this and this makes sense, So it's like we all just have to work together. Like everybody needs to do what they're good at doing, what they feel that they could contribute to themselves and to each other, and then we'll all just fill in the pieces together.
Exactly.
And like I feel like if everybody focuses on the same thing, then we're not going to get nowhere. Because everyone's focusing on the same thing. So when people start focusing on what they're good at or what comes natural to them, then they'll fill in pieces for others as others fill in pieces for them, and then
absolutely
that's how we'll.
Yeah, see, that's and we're all good at different things, and that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to find everybody who's, I'm trying to tell everybody everything that's important, and like we all need to work and work together. And different people, like you say, different people are good at different things.
That always happens when we start talking about the right stuff.
I got this gang stalker guy that lives around here, and he comes by my house and he has no muffler and he's like, whoa! And I'm like, okay.
I get that. I get the fire trucks. I get the police cars. Super loud like music in the middle of the night type shit. The skateboarders in the middle of the night. You know, so it's like I'm like, really, you guys?
Yeah.
I get all the noise campaigns too.
Yeah. So.
What I started doing too is when I noticed like it irritates me the most at like the stores. Like I hate when everyone is like super close, and you know I'm like, dude, like can I get some space here? You know what I mean? Just standing there looking. So what I started doing was being a smartass. I love being a smartass. So I'll be like, oh, so how much are they paying you? You know, like just random ass shit just to make it funny. You know what I mean? Just so that they'll be like what the hell? You know, so I started noticing that me saying like random ass shit or talking to whoever I'm with at the store, being like, oh, you know they're about to do like 20 plus years in prison when they start finding out who these people are. You know, or like this little random shit that will trigger them. You know, so it's like, you're not getting me no more. Like I'm gonna get you now. You know, just by saying stupid shit. You know,
Yeah.
so I noticed that when I started flipping shit, that they started either backing up or they started trying other shit, which I'm like, I already know, I got you, so let me do this, you know, so just trying to outsmart them, you know what I mean? And like at the apartment, like what I noticed is I could feel like if I touch like on the wall, I could feel like the energy. So there's certain spots where I feel like super energy, like towards the middle of my palm. So then I'll throw a magnet on there. You know, like the neodymium magnets.
Neodymium.
It blocks it. It'll block it. And I at one point had almost the whole house with the foil. I had the emergency blankets, you know, the tarps, I had literally everything covered because I started noticing that I think it's a storage space under my apartment, and like I literally see the floorboard go down. Like it'll create like a space, like at least an inch worth of a space that I'm like, okay, that literally just sunk like a whole inch. And there was one time where I noticed when I would leave the apartment, I would start hearing like mechanisms, you know, like just kind of like an elevator a little bit, you know. And there was a time where I went in and then I was like, oh shit, I forgot something. So I was going to go back in and I noticed the whole like frame of the door was changing. And so I was like, oh, they think they're slick. So when I leave, they do whatever they're going to do. And by the time I get back, it's already done. And so that's when I started feeling like on the walls and started putting the magnets. And I found a panel. And so I put magnets on all four of the... You ever get the lines on the walls where it kind of looks like the wall cracked and then it was like puttied over or something like that?
I get a lot of strange things, but I want to say this. A lot of times they can use broadcast to make things appear to be like shifting and different things, and like so, like okay, imagine the sun is shining, okay, and I'm standing here, all right, and then so there's my shadow is going to be here, all right. So you could put broadcast in between me and my shadow, and EMF waves are like reflective. So say the EMF waves could be like here, and it could like turn them, right? And it can make that shadow start to shift. And so things can shift around and appear to shift around sometimes when maybe they're not. But I don't know. They can do some really wild stuff with broadcasting that I've witnessed firsthand with like shadows moving. You know, it's like they can bend light.
Yes, exactly. Oh, that was another good thing that I had tried too. It's like the fiberglass that's like they have a whole bunch of little lines and then you move it and it makes different images. You remember those being a kid? Like you move it like this and it'll create different pictures.
Oh, hold on. Like a kaleidoscope?
No, they used to be more like book covers or like bookmarks sometimes. Even.
Oh, you mean like the
rub it like that? Yes, exactly.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, with that, if you got like a clear one, you can cover yourself with it, and the with them trying to do it with the light, it'll bend all that shit. It'll like camouflage you a little bit. Seriously,
like you know, like Harry Potter's cloak. You know what I mean? Like I'm gone. Yeah.
And then like just randomly, like I would know when my maintenance people come in when we're gone. There was one time I mopped like completely clear floor, and I came back and there was feet prints and wheel marks. So I'm like, "Are you guys this stupid? Like, you know, you just left the whole track." But it's just
sometimes you're crazy. You're insane. That didn't really happen. Like that's the
right.
motive, right? So
one thing they love doing to me is I write a lot. So like I write in notebooks. I take notes. You know, to me, I'm a little old fashioned with that because I'll remember more stuff if I write it. And so they actually take my notebooks and rewrite my stuff. And they're super good because they're super close. But I have like 10 to 20 different types of writings depending on like my mood. And so I notice tiny ass details with the letters like, oh, that's not my writing. You know, like close enough, but that's not my writing. You know, and or there'll be like the letters that are like totally off where it's like obvious. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you guys are like literally trying to do little ass petty shit that makes me look crazy. And like I know I'm not. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, I already know who's writing these are because I like her letters in these and I like her letters like this. So
I was gonna say like
close enough to me. So I'm like, I know who you guys are.
I was gonna say like you say you're old fashioned. I was gonna be like, well, at least you can't get hacked that way. I write a lot of stuff because they can't delete it, they can't hack it. But it sounds like they hacked your writings.
You write it.
You got your notebook hacked. Yeah.
And sometimes one thing I did, because I remember a friend of mine back when I was younger, she created like this little secret like way to write letters and stuff. And so to this day I still remember how to do it. So I tested my theory. I was like, well, I'm the only one who knows how to write these letters and I know what these letters mean. So I wrote like a whole note and I came back and I looked through it and I was like, oh, that letter is wrong, that letter is wrong, that letter is wrong. So it's like I know for sure that somebody else wrote it because I wouldn't have wrote it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I remember leaving a note one time too, like, you know, I know who you are. I know you're up in my house. You know, this and this and that. And I said some shit. And I came back home and my whole shelf of like, I had made these little gift bags for work. And the whole thing was tipped over. So all my bags were all over the floor. And I was like, oh, you guys think that I'm going to think like it just fell, right? And I seen there was like 4 of them perfectly straight next to the shelf, you know, standing up straight. And then when I was looking through my bags, there was like 8 of them that had like the straight cut slit through them. You know, so I'm like, you guys can't tell me that I'm crazy saying that someone didn't come up in my house and rip my shit, you know, and tip it over. And nicely lay a couple of them over there like there's a siren.
Did you ever try to call the police on anything like that?
I'm sorry?
Did you ever try to call the police about anything happening like that?
I always figured, what's the point? Because they're going to look at me like I'm crazy, you know, and it was at a point to where I had already said stuff to my landlords. I had said stuff to the shop owner, you know, when I had the shop. There's a siren.
I get sirens. Look, I live right by a fire station, so I get it all the time too.
Right down the street, like right when they turn down the street, they'll turn it on and then turn it off like a little bit later right there. But they can come and chill. Like they'll have the post office is 2 levels under us, And so they'll have like the mail truck, they'll have like the UPS truck, then they'll have like the fire truck, the ambulance, the cop car. Like they'll all be chilling there for like hours sometimes. And it's like, I know you guys are all popping your little stuff at us. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry, I forgot what I was saying before the sirens came. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Oh, the police reports you were saying. Yeah, so I just kind of figured, like, what's the point, really? Because my own landlords aren't doing nothing about it. I'm going to go to the police and say this and that, but it's going to be like, oh, well, where's the proof? Oh, I got pictures of shit, but they're going to still be like, well, we can't prove who it is. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
to me, it's been pointless. So I just kind of had the mindset of just keep doing right, just keep doing what I need to do, try to keep helping others. The light will be shed on it. You know what I mean? So it'll come to light eventually.
Right.
So hopefully sooner than later, you know, but that's just kind of where my mindset has been. Like, I'm just going to leave it in God's or sources or whoever's hands and let them deal with them, you know, in that kind of aspect of it. And just try to help as many as I can with what I've figured out too. You know what I mean?
That sounds like a good plan. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm glad that it's not destroying your life. And you seem like you got.
It has a point, you know. I mean, they mess with my bank accounts. They mess with my credit cards. They mess with like the unemployment. Like they'll delay shit, you know, where like I'll set up things like, okay, I have to pay this, I have to pay this, I have to pay this, and then they'll do something to make me overdraft. You know, so that it's like, okay, now I'm minus on that. So now I got to figure out with the bank, like I didn't even put this transaction through. You know, so like they do mess with my money. They mess with all kinds of shit. I think they've messed with job opportunities at one point. Just all kinds of shit. But I think my faith in the help that I have, you know, from God or Ra or whoever you believe in, whoever believes in, that's what's been keeping me straight. You know what I mean? So it's like instead of retaliating in a certain way, they're still kind of blessing me by keeping me alive. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
You just made me think of that movie. I think it was Stargate or something. But there was this song that came out. It's like a dubstep song. It's like by the power of Ra. It's a pretty smooth song, but anyway, yeah. I mean, you seem like you deal with it pretty well. You seem like you hold yourself together and you could help some people. So you know, I think it's a good idea to keep learning and you know keep driving, keep learning, and do everything you can, and you know just to be a positive addition to the community. So you know, I think that's a good thing. Yeah, me too. Me too. It gets hard. Some days I want to just.
It does, yes.
Some days I want to just do some crazy stuff, but I'm not going to. Not going to do that because I understand my position. So, you know, it's best not to do that.
Definitely not easy. It has not been easy, but I think I finally turned when I was like, you know what? I'm tired of you guys keeping me in a low vibe state. I'm tired of being depressed. I'm tired of being upset. I'm tired of being hurt. You know what I mean? So I felt like as soon as I started switching that around, I was like, what's that? I was like, oh, what is
I had a messenger thing pop up on my thing right here, and I was like, is that over here?
But yeah, I noticed when I started saying no more, like I'm not letting you guys take control of this. I mean, also too, like it's made me uncomfortable with a lot of things, you know, because it's like you're at a point where it's like, okay, you can't even be intimate with your partner, or you feel awkward taking a shower or going to the restroom, you know, because you're like
all of those things,
you know. So it's just like it is like it's very invasive and it's uncomfortable. especially being a female too. You know what I mean? Like it's like we're not even safe in our own homes. You know, like behind
Right.
closed doors. You know what I mean? So
I understand. Yeah. I mean, I took a shower in the dark for 2 years when I first realized what all was going on, you know? And yeah, I mean, and everybody says the same, you know, it is that invasive and there's no such thing as privacy. And,
right.
you know, when society realizes that your thoughts are not safe, then that's when the revolution is going to begin, I think.
Right. So, hopefully it's soon.
it's already began, I think. You know, yeah, we're trying to get this thing moving, but people are a little bit slow to catch on to what's going on, but we're not, you know, and that's not our fault. So, you know, we're way ahead of the game, really. So, yeah. Well, I really appreciate you coming on, and
thank you for inviting me.
yeah, and so you can come back anytime, and
No.
okay. So, anything you want to close it out with?
I'm gonna say stay strong, everyone. We got this. Do not let them take you down. You know, you guys are so much stronger than they are, and believe in yourself. We got this.
I completely agree. All right.
Lose faith. Don't lose faith. That was another one.
Yeah. Samantha in San Jose. I'm Kevin Christian in Atlanta. So appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye, Kevin.
Yeah. Where are you from?
San Jose, California.
San Jose, California. Is that what, like, okay,
The Bay Area.
the Sharks? Y'all got some Sharks out there? Like the hockey team? Y'all got the San Jose Sharks? Okay.
Yeah.
So I know they don't have no snow out there, but
No,
we don't. Okay, cool. I don't really plan this out, so I just do it. You know, same way I do my videos. I just be like, yeah, man, and then just like be like, okay. So all right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, here we go. Hold on, what's today? 22nd. Okay.
Am I making you nervous?
No, I always get like this for just a second, and then I'll be like, okay. All right, so here we go.